AI content, right? It's everywhere you turn these days, but is it all it's cracked up to be? I feel like that's the question, right?
Yeah, it can feel like a lot of hype.
Exactly. So let's dive into that, shall we?
Let's do it.
We're breaking down the potential of AI content, particularly for businesses, with some, hopefully, practical insights for you.
And we're basing this whole deep dive on a recent blog post from, let me see, Now Technology Systems.
Yeah.
They're an Australian web design and marketing company, so they're in the trenches using this tech every day.
Yeah, they're living it. And one of the first things they highlight is just how much faster AI can make content creation.
Speed is a huge factor for sure.
Like, imagine wrapping up a whole week's worth of content in, like, an afternoon.
That's the dream, right? And it frees you up to focus on the important things, strategy, client relationships, really refining your message, the things that need that human element.
Makes sense. And it's not just about speed. They also emphasize that consistency AI can bring. So no matter how much content you're pushing out, your brand voice stays consistent.
It's crucial, especially when you're thinking about scaling your business.
Yeah.
Bringing new people onto your team, you want them to be able to hit the ground running with your brand voice. And AI can make that so much easier.
Definitely. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me. They talk about using AI to personalize content for each customer.
Yeah, that's the holy grail, isn't it?
Right. That level of targeted messaging could be massive, but I'm curious, have we seen if that actually works? I mean, is there data on how customers respond to that level of personalization?
There's definitely been research on that. And some of it suggests that, yeah, personalized content gets people more engaged, more likely to convert. But it's a fine line. You know, you don't want to be too in your face with it.
Absolutely. It's got to feel genuine, not creepy.
Right.
So if AI can target that specifically, it does make you wonder, what are the downsides? And they get into that in the post too, right?
They do. It's a bit of a balancing act, right? Because as amazing as the speed and efficiency of AI content are, there are some potential downsides the blog post gets into. And quality is a big one they highlight.
Yeah, it makes you think, AI has come so far, but it's not perfect. Have you noticed that, like, sometimes AI content just misses the mark?
Totally. It's still early days, and one thing it struggles with is sounding, well, human. Sometimes it's repetitive or just lacks something special that really connects with people.
It's like they say, you can't automate creativity, at least not entirely. So practically speaking, what do they suggest businesses actually do to make sure they're getting good quality out of these tools?
Human oversight is key, according to the post. They're big on treating AI as a really advanced assistant, not a replacement for human writers or editors.
Gotcha. So more of a collaboration. AI does the initial draft, maybe helps with research and stuff, but a human has to come in to refine it, make sure it's accurate, and, you know, inject a bit of soul into it.
Exactly. Finding that balance is what it's all about. And that actually reminds me, they also bring up an interesting point about SEO.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about how AI is going to be this SEO silver bullet.
Oh, yeah. Everyone wants to rank higher.
Right. But it's not that straightforward, is it? You can't just stuff in a bunch of keywords and call it a day, can you?
No, definitely not. So how do they recommend handling SEO then, if AI alone isn't enough?
Well, they propose a hybrid approach, basically. So use AI for things like keyword research, checking what your competitors are doing, that sort of thing. But then bring in human expertise to actually craft the content because you need it to appeal to both the search engines and actual human beings reading it.
So it's like finding that sweet spot where you're being smart with keywords and all that, but not sacrificing the quality and the actual usefulness of the content.
Absolutely. And that actually leads into another really crucial point they make, the importance of always keeping up with the latest developments in AI.
It's wild, right? Like every day there's a new tool or update.
Yeah, and that's what really stood out to me in the blog post, this idea that you got to be ready to learn and adapt because this stuff isn't slowing down. For sure, it's not a one-and-done situation.
Not at all. So it's not enough to just figure out, like, the basic features of an AI writing tool. There's more to it than that.
Way more. It's about understanding the bigger picture. How is AI changing how we even consume content? You know, staying curious, testing out new approaches, and being ready to adapt as the tech evolves. It's crucial.
It's almost like, I don't know, learning a new language. You wouldn't just memorize a phrase book, right? You'd immerse yourself.
Exactly. And just like a new language can open up all these new ways of thinking and communicating, mastering AI content can unlock new levels of creativity and productivity for businesses.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's not about AI replacing human creativity. It's about, like, supercharging it, expanding what we're capable of. Which is Pretty exciting when you think about it. So as we wrap up here, the big takeaway for me is that AI content creation is way bigger than just a trend. It's a fundamental shift. And like any powerful tool, it's up to us to use it responsibly and ethically. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. It's a really fascinating time to be working in this field, and I'm excited to see how businesses use AI to tell their stories and connect with their audience in new ways.
Me too. It's a conversation that's just getting started for sure. Thanks for breaking it all down with me. I feel like I've got a much better handle on how to approach AI content now.
Happy to do it. It's been a great conversation.